I never expected a simple knock on my door to change the way I see the world. It was a quiet afternoon, one of those days where the world feels soft and slow. And yet, by the end of that day, my heart would never be the same. It started with tea. I was sitting in my little kitchen, sunlight spilling through the lace curtains. When I heard it, a soft, hesitant knock. I almost didn't answer. I was tired, lost in my thoughts. But something inside me told me to open the door. And when I did, I saw her, a stranger with kind, tired eyes, standing there holding a small envelope. "Hi," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "I think this is for you." She handed me the envelope, smiled politely, and started to turn away. For a second, I just stood there, staring at the envelope, confused. But then I surprised myself. "Wait," I called out. "Would you like to come in for some tea?" She hesitated, then nodded. The kettle hissed softly as I filled 2 cups, and the smell of chamomile filled the kitchen. She sat at my table, her hands wrapped around the mug as though she needed its warmth. "My name's Lila," she said finally, her eyes fixed on the steam curling from her tea. I introduced myself, and for a moment we just sat there in silence, sipping. Then she said something that made me put my cup down. "I wasn't sure I'd knock," she confessed. "I almost kept walking, but I think I was meant to be here today." Her words sent a shiver through me. "Why?" I asked gently. She took a deep breath. "Because today is the anniversary of the hardest day of my life." Slowly, haltingly, Lila began to tell me her story about how 1 year ago she lost someone she loved, suddenly and unexpectedly. She told me about the silence that followed, the way grief sat on her chest every morning, making it hard to breathe. I felt my throat tighten. "I'm so sorry," I whispered. She nodded, a tear slipping down her cheek. I didn't plan to tell anyone today, but I couldn't bear being alone. Something in her honesty cracked something open in me. I realized how long it had been since I'd let myself feel anything. I had been going through my own quiet storm, pretending I was fine. And so I told her about the letter I still hadn't opened since last month, about the person I had lost not to death, but to distance. We sat there, 2 strangers, spilling secrets into mugs of tea, while the rain tapped gently against the window. At one point, she reached across the table and took my hand. "You're not as alone as you think," she said softly. And for the first time in a long time, I believed it. The envelope still sat on the table between us. My hands trembled as I finally opened it. Inside was a short note, an apology, a reconnection, a reminder that even endings aren't always permanent. I looked at Lila, and we both laughed through our tears. When she left that evening, the world felt lighter. The sun had broken through the clouds, turning the wet street into gold. I stood at the door for a long time, watching her walk away, feeling something shift inside me. That night, I sat by my window, looking at the stars, and I realized something. Life will always surprise you. Pain will visit, but so will grace, sometimes in the form of a stranger who knocks on your door. So if you're watching this right now and you feel like you're carrying too much, I want you to know someone out there understands. Someone will sit with you, listen, remind you that you're not alone. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but they will. And when they do, let them in. It might just change everything.